What was your response to Ms Marnie when you found out about those messages?
Well, when I saw the content of them, I was in Yorkshire. So yesterday I travelled back. We had a long conversation, many hours of difficult conversation. Jo is utterly distraught. These messages were never meant to be in the public eye. She wasn't hiding them, but they were part of a direct message exchange with somebody else, and they were made in the sort of heat of the moment in a difficult conversation and slightly provocative conversation. But they're not defensible in any way. And indeed, as I say, she's absolutely distraught at the offence and the embarrassment this has caused, not only for her but for the party, for her friends, her loved ones, so a very difficult conversation. And she needs to put her life back together after all this, and a huge amount of scrutiny. And I'm personally extremely unhappy with the way that certain people have used her and indeed dug deeply into this lady's background in order to attack me. If people want to attack me politically or my leadership, then let's have that out. But to do this to somebody is unacceptable in my view. But nonetheless, the comments made and the language used is indefensible, as Ms Marnie has already said. We both need to start putting our lives back together after all of this, and at the moment, so that's where we are.
Yeah. So just what you said there was that you think people are essentially out to get you and using this to do so. These text messages reportedly said Meghan Markle had a tiny brain, would taint the royal family and lead to a black king. So are you disappointed that they've come to light, and are being used to undermine you? Or are you extremely disappointed that that's her view? Is that her view, and why has she said that?
I'm extremely disappointed that they were written in the first place. I obviously wasn't aware of them, and we have been together only indeed 1 month up until today. It's 1 month today since we went on our first date, so to speak. In fact, less than that. It was Boxing Day. It was a month ago that we actually first met at a lunch and spoke for about 5 minutes. But I have not looked through, as most people don't, all their partners' sort of historical Facebook messaging and so on. I wasn't aware of these things, and when I saw them, I was appalled. But we have discussed. She's a member of the party. We have discussed in the past immigration issues, integration, and she has never expressed her views in such a way as she did in those messages.
Should she be thrown out the party now? I know she's suspended at the moment, but should she be thrown out?
Yeah, suspension is part of the due process in such cases. It was a decision made by the chairman. He informed me of that decision. I think he's right to have suspended Jo.
Do you think she should be thrown out, though?
The entire normal due process is that a board is convened under the chairmanship of the General Secretary, and that board will then make a decision. It is nothing to do with me. It is a due process that's under the General Secretary.
Regardless of the fact that you have not written these text messages, obviously, and you say people are using them to attack you, does it not reflect on your judgment?
I think it would have reflected very poorly on my judgment had I known about them and still continued in working towards a relationship with Jo. But that wasn't the case at all. And no, I don't think it does reflect on my judgment. I myself have not made any such comments, and I don't endorse any such comments, nor do I defend them.
What's happening in UKIP at the moment? I mean, you've got people, as you said, coming out essentially saying they don't want you to lead the party. They think they're not getting enough good press. I think the problem with all these messages that have been sent out is that they've been indirectly defended by you, according to a former UKIP leadership candidate, Ben Walker. They're going to meet this week. A lot of people expect them to give you a vote of no confidence. Why don't you go before it looks like you might be pushed?
Because I've got a great amount of support. I said I was in Yorkshire, and in Yorkshire I received huge support from the membership up there. I was overwhelmed by the support that I'm receiving. I received from them and by various messages from across the party. And the truth of the matter is that I'm pushing forward with the agenda of reforming the internal communications, the finances, and the policy making, and so on, and planning of the party. All stuff that needs to be done in order to allow the party to project its politics into the Brexit debate. debate and the shaping of the country post-Brexit. This is all critical stuff, and we can't afford a leadership change at the moment. And this challenge, I mean, you mentioned Ben Walker. Indeed, he was a leadership candidate. I would like to think that leadership candidates actually could accept the results of the leadership contest as was fought, and would actually work towards uniting the party rather than trying to divide it.
Okay, Henry Bolton, thank you for
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.